this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, there were a ton of incredible action scenes. Madara versus Hashirama, Obito versus Minato and Tobirama, Naruto and Sasuke versus Obito, Naruto and Tobirama versus Obito. Just boom! If you like action, you're gonna love this episode. It also had a lot of that classic Naruto ninja-nuity. A lot of scenes filled to the brim with creativity and a lot of impact. So safe to say, I loved this episode. My only complaint was there was a few flashbacks, but they were few and far between, and they were very short, and they actually added to the story. What I didn't expect to see was Madara versus Hashirama, and it was just as awesome as it was the first time. There's just something really ominous about Madara and his Susanoo just walking and hearing the loud footsteps and the creepy feet as he's walking towards Hashirama and his massive wood clone. And it's a pretty awesome battle with a few cool techniques, grabbing swords, punching faces, the type of stuff you would expect from a badass kaiju battle. And that's exactly what it is. The only thing about this scene is that it sort of shakes the confidence of all the other Shinobi Alliance members, and they feel that there's nothing they're going to be able to do. That is until Shikamaru gives them a quick pep talk with a little bit of help from Ino. And Tamari brings up a great point. Shikamaru should be a Hokage, and I agree. He would definitely be one of the absolute best candidates. If there's two characters I want to be Hokage, it's Kakashi and Shikamaru. Not to be outdone by the founders of Konoha Village, Tobirama, Minato, Sasuke, and Naruto all fighting against Obito was awesome. We finally get our first clue as to how they're actually going to be able to hurt this guy, and I just love the fact that Obito finally has control over the Ten Tails and he has his personality back, because I love his voice actor. I've already mentioned that it's Knuckle from Hunter x Hunter, but he does a really great job in this series, and I didn't like the transition at first, but as the series has gone on, it has really warmed up to me. So, Tobirama is easily my favorite Hokage, especially after this episode. He just sort of seemed like a very stern, almost Uchiha-like member of the Senju clan, but his ability to work with everyone and combine his techniques is so impressive, especially that final scene at the end of the episode where both him and Naruto attack Obito, because they don't even say anything to each other. They just look at each other for a split second, and they know how this is all going to go down. I really love the fact that Gamakichi is the one who actually gives them their clue as to how they're going to hurt Obito, and I love when Minato and Tobirama combine their techniques with each other by putting their seals on their shoulders, so that when both Naruto and Sasuke are running towards Obito and combine their Rasen Shuriken and Amaterasu techniques, Tobirama gets right behind Obito, and then they hit Minato point blank, but right as that happens, they switch places, and instantly they hit Obito. It doesn't do anything, but it's really freaking impressive. But it's all a big lead up to that one final scene where Naruto is trying to power up with his Kurama powers, but they completely just poof out of nowhere, so he has to rely on another ability. And right before Gamakichi leaves, he uses this water spit technique, which actually clings to Obito, and that's where you learn that it's actually Senjutsu and Sage techniques are actually the only things that can hurt him. And that makes sense because he's like the Sage of the Six Paths. So this is the part of the episode where they hold off on showing you Naruto's face for a while. He starts to power up a Rasengan, and then suddenly Tobirama realizes what's going on, and he gets right behind him, and they do this teleportation technique where he gets right on top of Obito and hits him point blank with a Sage Rasengan, which does a lot of damage, sends him flying into the earth, and it just feels great. This was such a great, awesome action episode! So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Very freaking awesome. I loved this episode. It was action-packed, so that's probably why I dug it so much. But I love how it was basically just two halves of awesomeness. The first half, Madara versus Hashirama, was handled really well. They did a great job of making these things seem really massive and heavy and dangerous. Just their movements is sending shockwaves through the battlefields, and that's enough to make those Shinobi Alliance members feel a little uneasy. And I hate the fact that their demeanor is constantly being broken. These guys have the ability to shoot fire from their mouths. Come on, guys, buck up a little bit. But even with Naruto and Sasuke combining techniques and then the Sage mode at the very end, Tobirama is one of the standout characters from this week's episode. He has truly evolved as the series has gone on, and I love his interactions with Minato because it's kind of similar to Naruto and Sasuke, where Minato is just a total goofball, and I love his gimmick of actually having to come up with nicknames for techniques which are just really ridiculous and sound like something out of a superhero anime from the 1980s. It actually gives him a little little more character, and it allows me to like Minato all the more. They also learn in this week's episode that Obito's techniques are actually destroying their Edo-sensei bodies, so they're going to have to be more careful in the battle. But this is all leading up to something much larger, especially because at the very end of the episode they give us a small teaser when we get to see the other half of Kurama's chakra inside of Minato. And it looks like next week's episode is going to look very nice. It looks like it has some very clean artwork and animation, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with that. Otherwise, this episode had it all. All your favorite characters, tons of incredible action, great animation and artwork, wonderful music cues, great voice acting, and it gets you pumped up for the next episode. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. Yes, I really liked this one, and I have no complaints. And if you're a fan of Naruto or action anime, definitely check this one out. It was pretty kick-ass. Thank you all for watching my review. If you liked this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden. Did you have a favorite fight scene? What do you want to see in the future battle between Obito, Naruto, and Sasuke? And make sure to go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You can do so by clicking on this button right up here. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. And a quick reminder, it's Pokemon month. I'm doing a lot of cool Pokemon videos, so make sure and check out the one at the very end of the video, which is my top 10 favorite Pokemon from Generation 4. That's Diamond and Pearl for those who don't know. Thank you guys again for watching my review. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.